Well, I remember my poor uncle's teeth. He had they was black, so they was too much tobacco.
Yes.
You know, and
yes.
Every time he smiled, the dog would start barking and the babies would cry.
Just all the way to the rainbow's end. Just
So we're headed to Williamsburg, which is one of the locations in what they call the historic triangle. It comes second chronologically. The first permanent settlers landed at Jamestown in 1607, and then one of the first 13 colonies was Williamsburg, which is where we're going today. And then Yorktown, which is number 3. Later on in the Revolutionary War, that's the site of the famous Battle of Yorktown, where the British laid down their arms and surrendered, affectionately known as Surrender Field. But today is all about Williamsburg, so we're going to take a little walk through history. Hey Siri, remember where I parked.
Okay, I'll remember that you parked here.
Thank you. I love that.
Is designed to help you plan your day. You see a blue, red, and yellow shaded area. Here's the key for the blue shaded area. This is a list of buildings with our interpreters. This is a list of buildings with our tradespeople. It shows the days they're open. Here's the key for the red shaded area. Here is the key for the yellow shaded area. Before you get started, I recommend you go through these 3 lists and for one day pick 4, maybe 5 buildings that interest you. Now that being said, I recommend everybody take a tour of the Capitol, everybody take a tour of the Governor's Palace, and everybody take a tour, not so much a tour, but visit our art museum. There's a lot to see there. Behind the Governor's Palace, there are formal gardens. Behind the formal gardens, you'll find, or in the formal gardens, there's a very cool big maze. This is, I think, a great place for family. A lot of good things to do here. That is it. You have your receipt, you have your tickets, and you should be good to go. So have fun. Good talking to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice meeting you. Good.
So a bit of advice if you're a veteran, when you come in, they get a little blue star on your ID tag. That allows you to get in some secret places here that I didn't even know existed. Also, as a veteran, you get 50% off for you and your family, and then on Veterans Day and Memorial's Day, it's completely free. So that's good information. We've just gone back in time, and America as we know it doesn't exist yet. Something I like to call a road apple.
There's a unicorn up there.
There is a unicorn up there. Does that mean they're real?
Yeah.
You're going to the cellars?
Of course.
What's in the cellars?
What do you think?
Huh?
My favorite thing.
What's that?
Booze. I want one of these cars. Do you see that? See?
It's crazy. It's like 95 degrees out here and humid as all get out, but down there it was probably 65, 70. Perfectly comfortable. That's why they kept the wine there. That's not the maze. Okay, let's check out the maze.
This is a dead end.
Uh-oh.
Let's go back.
Oh boy. Okay, officially lost. Haley, come on. Haley. Okay, not only are we lost, but we've lost the other half of our family.
That's the one we escaped.
Oh, I see daylight. Is that a dead end?
This is the entrance.
That's
Going that way.
Haley, wait up. Haley. Haley, where'd you go? Oh.
Haley. Hello. Hey, you're cheating. Where's Haley? You're
She's
cheating.
over there.
Over where?
Over there.
Haley. Haley. Come on, Haley. Oh, crap. Haley. We need a drink.
Haley?
Haley, I see you.
10 minutes later, and we ended up right back where we started. Now I have no idea where any of my family is. Yeah. What?
Marco!
Follow.
I hear both of my kids still in the maze. How'd you end up up there?
Marco! Daddy! Marco!
This is awful.
Daddy!
Phil
This
Haley.
way! Next this way! Nick! Marco! Marco!
Haley, where'd you go?
Marco!
Oh boy. I think I'm getting closer.
Daddy!
Haley, this way, come on.
No, that's a dead end! This way!
I'm going the right way, I think. Wait, these people are coming back. Maybe it's not the right way.
Oh, hi.
Okay, I found one of them. Where's the other two?
This way, I guess.
Here.
Hey!
Nick! Daddy!
Where are you?
This way!
Come on, I think I know how to get out of here.
You're cheating, McGreeder.
I'm not cheating.
Try this way. I think I found the exit, but I think it's not. But this is what I found, but I don't think it's where it passed.
That's not it. No, keep going. Are we getting close? Is that how you got out?
Yeah.
That's cheating.
No, it's not. I got out, didn't I?
Really?
Come on, Daddy!
There's no way you're
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We made it. I'll just cut out the part of sneaking through the shrubbery.
How did you fit through there?
Where
Where you been, honey? There's an arrow that goes to the left.
Yeah?
I followed it.
Yeah.
Okay, you're supposed to go to the right. Look, if you go to the right, you come all the way around into the center.
But you
That's
still
sneaky.
You still cheated.
There's a hole there you can climb out of, so
And plus,
why not?
And plus, it's a clean path and nothing's
They
planted.
were saying I was cheating.
That's not cheating. It's clearly a hidden path.
She's cheating. What'd you think about that?
It was amazing. Maze.
You think you're punny, don't you?
Yes.
See what I did there? See what I did there?
No.
I'll make it look good when you're cooking for the gallery.
Boy, look at that fancy optical box that man's got. Wow, he must be a wealthy man.
There's a lot of buildings here in Williamsburg that have signs that say ticket required for entry, which they told us up front that some things require an extra ticket to see, but I just found out that this little thing right here is your ticket. So if it says that, you can get into just about everything here. Williamsburg is open to the public. So anybody can come here, walk down the street any time of day without admissions. After 10 o'clock at night, they said you can actually drive down this street. It's pretty neat that it's still public streets. I mean, it's still Williamsburg. It's not a park, it's not a museum, this is Williamsburg, the real deal. So we're in the Capital District because this used to be the capital of Virginia. But the main reason we're here is because we're starving. So let's go check out Raleigh Tavern.
Right, take a look around where the meals are served. Food, drink, lodging, and stable for horse and carriage being provided to the guests as basic services. Hallway room, exiting to the bathroom,
The chairs are set up like when they came to meet here, my friends. Thank you for being here today. I'll thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so I was hoping for like a sandwich shop, but there's more of a museum-y type, museum-y, middle word, more of a museum with a little bakery in the back. So we're still starving. Let's see what else we can find. Shields Tavern, that looks promising.
Should you need them? The necessaries are downstairs. Okay,
Be careful, sit down here, a little low, okay?
They do not call them restrooms or bathrooms, they call them necessaries. In the 1700s, you call a bathroom a necessary. So you wouldn't ask, where's the bathroom or where's the restroom? You would ask, where's the necessary?
It makes sense, it's a pretty necessary thing. So. One thing we didn't want to do was miss the band, and they just marched past the restaurant, so we left Mama behind. Like that in a while. So they do that twice a day. They do it at 1 o'clock, which it's 10 after 1 right now. That's why we just missed it. We didn't even think to check the time. Let's start walking back, guys. At 1 o'clock, they do the parade, march from the Capitol to somewhere else, and then at 5 o'clock they do the fife and drum at behind the courthouse, right? And then what Mama said. So we'll probably stick around, come back and listen to them play behind the courthouse, but. Just didn't want to miss that parade, so let's go. Let's go find Mama. Are you okay?
That running really hurt me.
God, how far down here were we? 10 minutes later, we finally made it back.
So you're really tired?
Yeah.
Something I need to tell you.
What?
They go through here again.
Oh, they do the whole thing again at 5? So we didn't have to sprint half a mile through Williamsburg just now.
No.
Or you could be trying to walk down
Well, other than the little interruption chasing the band down the street, I'd say Shields Tavern. What would you give it?
5 stars.
5 stars? So it was perfect.
I think it was great. The food was amazing. Lemonade, oh my goodness. had 2 glasses. I could have had 3 more.
Yeah, it was good food. It wasn't authentic food. I don't think they had fried chicken sandwiches back then, but for what it was really good food. Yeah, great lunch place. Some of the other places here are a little fancier, a little pricier, but for a lunch place, I'd say Shields Taverner's the way to go.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation if you're looking for lunch. That was a pretty neat little history lesson. A little bit of legal trivia that I wasn't aware of. So we walked into the courtroom and they had a bunch of benches in there, but I guess back in the 1700s, there were no benches. Everybody stood. That's why they called them bystanders. And then the little barrier between the people watching and the people up front was called the bar. So, you know, on the other side, that's where the judges and the attorneys would have stood. So whenever we talk about passing the bar, that's what you literally did. You were allowed to go past that at that point. I love stuff like that. I love finding where we get modern day terminology from. Now we're gonna go check out the gunsmith. I can already smell the black powder.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome. Feel free to come on in, explore around, ask about things you're curious about. We've got items on the counter you can pick up the handle, including the rifle. Please treat it like it might be loaded, so don't point at anybody or pull the trigger.
You got it?
Have to grow into that one maybe. So guns have to fit, so when people buy things off the rack, you try some on.
Yeah.
If not, you might come in here and get it custom made.
I think that was a little big for you, Haley. So what's this?
That's the rifle saw, that rifle's barrel. So the barrel's down there. Taking it to your right, the saw tooth cutter. Got it loaded for groove number 7. Then we want to groove number 7 like a stroke of a saw, or stroke of a file. So it's very shallow. Pushing back into the cutting, and I can move from groove 7 back to groove number 1. Just one cutting groove number 1. We do that about 90 times in each groove, adjusting for depth as we go. And we adjust the depth by shimming it up with a thin piece of paper. So when we're finished, we might have 15 shims over about a 4 or 5 hour period.
What are you trying to determine?
Straight.
Straight. Look at it, bend it straight.
Would it have been one of these two?
Had a crack in there I had to repair. So then we went ahead and hammered the rest of the barrel round again so I could take the octagon all the way out to the end. Style for rifle barrels is octagon.
No.
So this is the Palmer House. So a lot of the buildings here are recreations, but this is one of the few that is actually the original building. This was built in 1775. 1975, almost 250 years old. Yeah, still standing. They don't make them like they used to. So earlier I was talking about one of those little secret places you get to go if you have a blue star. Just found it. To all brave and well-disposed patriots, take notice that this establishment is for you. That was really nice. Great place to sit down and cool off for a few minutes. They had coffee in there. They had a little water fountain. And nothing fancy, but just enough to take a break. I guess there's a lot of veterans here because it was packed. There's all kinds of people in there.
Oh yeah, got some fresh road apples.
I love the architecture here, like these wooden roofs. It's either covered in moss that's actually growing out of the wood. Imagine that probably keeps them a lot cooler. I got so wrapped up staring at architecture that we walked right by. Ooh, another one. I love these old buildings. Anyway, I got so wrapped up staring at architecture that we walked right past the place that we plan on going, so let's double back. You were right, sorry.
This is just a display piece, so it's not sharp, but it's, they dug up a chisel like this at Mount Vernon, and they wanted one to pass it on to the guests. So they're not going to use the original piece, so they asked us to make one for them.
So between 1778 and 1780, we're making what is essentially cooking pots and coffee pots and teapots, cups and plates for soldiers and senators of Virginia. And also a lot of portable lights, a lot of lanterns. So we don't want to scratch that tin off. That tin is on there to keep it from rusting. So any scratch is going to be an opportunity for oxidation to form.
The one that you just put your hand on there is the only real antique that we have in the building. That one is from a table leg, but we found it like that. It was really nice back in the day, probably. What looks like black right now is actually the wood. But that wood isn't normally black. It's a really dense mahogany. Now, this mahogany, it doesn't sound like a lot, it's just mahogany, but this particular type of mahogany is very, very heavy. But it'll feel like a baseball bat, right? Knock a home run with that thing. But that makes it really, really heavy, but also makes it really, really good for furniture and for carving. Oh, well, you're just really strong, probably. Yeah.
Road apples.
I've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Flat ones.
Yeah, I've done all that before at
What
follow the MPS. Going to take a right over here on North England Street, past this, and boom, we should be there. Follow the MPS, Nick Positioning System. Boom, we're here.
Patriots at play. Okay. What'd you find? Is that how you milk a cow? Huh?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you got it.
Wagons and things. That is a cow horn. So this is actually the inside part of the horn. This is the outside. So a horn is part of a cow's body. It's got a bone in the middle. All these holes here are where all of their blood vessels and everything would go, so they have circulation in there. The inside part is not very useful, but the outside you can use to make things. It's made out of the same thing your nails are made out of. So you know how your nails get really soft if you're like in the shower for a long time or something like that? If you get this wet or you heat it up a lot, you can actually cut it and you can mold it. So this is some horn that's been cut and then flattened out. And then you can press it into molds to make spoons. You can punch buttons out of it. Combs, these are made out of horn, this cup. But because it's made out of the same stuff your nails are made out of, you can't use this to keep drinking really hot tea because eventually it'll work back.
All right, kids, let's keep moving.
Move.
See what I did there?
Yes.
Moving.
See exactly what you did.
It's funny, wasn't it?
What's that?
Moving.
Moving.
No?
What's that?
Okay.
But of course, you never smile, sir.
Oh, no.
Never smile in a portrait.
Well, I figure if with the length of time that it takes to make the portrait, you would hurt your face to hold it that long.
Well, indeed, sir.
Well, hopefully, if you do it correctly, I would assume that the artist can get your face smiling if you want to be smiling within the portrait.
Oh, yes, sir. If you wish to be.
So many people have unfortunate teeth showing them.
Yeah, you don't want it. No. Oh, it takes a. Well, I remember my poor uncle's teeth. He had they was black, so they was. Too much tobacco.
Yes.
You know, and every time he smiled, the dog would start barking and the babies would cry. And so he always did keep a kind of scowl on his person, not because he was unhappy, but because he loved animals and children and did not wish to cause them discomfort.
Can you fit?
walking back across the bridge, and the dates are going forward. So this is really cool the way they do this. Coming in, you go back in time, and as you walk back across the very same bridge, you're catching back up to present day. I love the way they do that. It really is like you're a time traveler. Fantastic. Loved it. One hat. What do you think? Yeah, is it me?
Six.
Can I have it? Please. How much is it? $34.90. I'm good. I don't need a hat.
No other bugs exist. Good morning from Williamsburg.
Morning. So this has been a good trip. A few things I wish that we'd done a little bit different. I wish we had stayed here a little bit longer because there's so much to do. You know, we plan on doing Jamestown, Yorktown in one day, and then doing Williamsburg the second day, which is kind of what we did. But like Jamestown, we didn't do the historic Jamestown. We went to the Living Museum, which is kind of like a recreation. It was cool, but it wasn't the real thing. And then Yorktown, same thing. We went to we bought our ticket for Yorktown at Jamestown, thinking we were going to the historic Yorktown. It ended up just being the Revolutionary Museum, or American Revolution Museum. So a little disappointed there, and we didn't really have time to circle back and do the real deal. But
And we kind of got lost in the tours and everything in Williamsburg, which was amazing. We enjoyed it, but there's so much to see. I still don't think we saw everything that we wanted to.
Yeah, we came in thinking it was just going to be a half-day thing, you know, Williamsburg would we could fly through that and have time to go back and do other stuff, but we really didn't. I mean, we were there an entire day and wish we'd stayed a little bit. It's a spider. It was on my crotch.
Okay.
That's important. So if we'd had it to do over, we would have stayed a little bit longer, done a little bit more.
I think with other things in town, you need about a week down here. I mean, you've got Busch Gardens and Virginia Beach and tons of other places to take your family, and I think that a week solid. I mean, you
Norfolk, battleships.
Oh yeah, Nauticus.
Yeah. Another great thing about it, you know, this is a military town. Being a veteran myself means, you know, I've got friends all over the place. And I think the highlight of our trip, which I wish we'd recorded it, but
we didn't even take a picture.
No, which is kind of sad. But we were too busy talking. We ended up met up with some friends that I haven't seen in 6 years, and we had a great time last night. So that was the perfect way to end the trip. It's time to pack up and head back home.
We gotta get home.
That's the worst part is when you gotta pack them.
I hate it. I don't want it. Like, going somewhere is great. I get so amped up, so ready to go, but packing up to go home, I drag my anyway, travel days, I get amped up, ready to go somewhere, but when it's time to go home, I drag my feet and do not want to leave. So, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So, see you next time, guys.
Took some time, but we pointed out that tomorrow isn't here right now, baby. An absent mind came to run around. Captured you in a foggy cloud, baby. Standing on my toes on the edge, I'm ready to go. See it clear when the shadows are lit up.